Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the coronavirus.
What, bitch? Coronavirus! Woo, woo, woo!
I ended up catching the coronavirus, COVID-19.
It is real. So
it's a real thing. I ended up catching it. So I'm going to talk about, well, for one, how I believe I caught it. I'm going to talk about me having symptoms and believing that I was sick to the point where I felt like I needed to go get tested.
All right.
I'm going to talk about the testing process that I went through. I'm going to talk about quarantine for the 2 weeks in one room. 2 weeks. Yeah, you heard me correctly.
Had it away from me.
I'm going to talk about family and friends' reactions of me telling them that I tested positive for COVID-19.
Was very surprised.
I'm going to talk about my recovery and
remedies
that that I took to get over it. And
just the whole process of
everything
from it happening, from the beginning to end, and the struggles that we dealt with, and just the fact that a lot of people thinking that this disease is not real. It is real, and it's affecting each and every one of us differently, based on your health. I guess everything. Because we heard from other people that they had different symptoms, but they still had the coronavirus, right? So it seems like there's different strands of it, or the virus, to me, I feel is like evolving, or it reacts different to a different type of individual, I guess. But we're gonna cover everything and keep you guys informed and let you know the process that we went through and how we got over it.
You said we went through like you had it?
Yeah, I mean, shit,
you didn't have it.
She had it, but I went through the process of her having it. Just like when she was pregnant. She was pregnant, but I went through the process of being pregnant with her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't physically carry a baby, but you get what I'm saying.
All right,
let's get it.
Okay, so COVID-19 kind of hit towards like the end of March, right? Yeah. So when it first became popular, well, I mean, like, when it was like a thing, like, it kind of like went big. Crazy, it was all over the place and whatever. So anyway, when it started to gain momentum and, it was like all over the place, when I would read up on like the symptoms and stuff like that, I was so convinced that I had it already because we had went to Trinidad for Carnival. Mm-hmm. And upon coming back from Carnival, I had gotten very, very sick. Like, it was bad. Like fever, throat feeling like sandpaper, couldn't swallow, couldn't eat, weakness.
So that's typical, like when you come back from Trinidad Carnival, you normally get like a virus or something.
Yeah, at the time, and when I got sick, everyone was saying, you just got the after carnival flu. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been to how many carnivals and I never got no freaking after carnival flu. And they were like trying to convince me, like,
because I had it a few times. I understand.
Yeah. In Trinidad though, my cousin and I was staying with his brother, and his girlfriend was actually sick, like right after Carnival, like towards coming down to the end of Carnival, she had gotten sick. And she was like coughing and stuff like that. So I thought, also my cousin who I went to Carnival with, she had also gotten sick when she came back too.
As well. All right.
So we both were sick, So we kind of thought that, okay, well, maybe we probably got whatever flu or whatever it was that was going on with his girlfriend at the time in Trinidad. Maybe we got it, you know, because we were around her. So that's just kind of like what we like choked it up to. And they're like, oh, you know, it's after carnival flu. Okay, whatever. So when the madness really started kicking in, you know, in April, you know, like numbers were all over the place and everybody's scared, businesses are shutting down, you know, people are getting laid off from work, like all that craziness was going on. I wasn't like naive thinking that I couldn't catch it, but I'm like, all right, we all staying home now, like we're not doing anything, so you know, I should be good, you know. I wasn't thinking anything. So for the quarantine, we wouldn't do anything. Like the only place we would really go was like to my mom's house to like go hang out,
get groceries,
or just to the grocery store to get groceries. Other than that, we weren't going anywhere. There wasn't really anywhere for you to go anyway. So in addition to that, we also both stayed home from work as well. At the end of June, which was my birthday, I had basically gotten notice from work.
But wait, the cold that you had, the virus that you had after carnival, it went away, right? After like a week or so?
No, like 4 days.
4 days. So yeah, so that's past. So then she realized that that's not corona. She didn't have that. It's just, again,
I still felt like I had the coronavirus.
You still felt that was coronavirus?
Yes, because I told you at the time, nobody was talking about corona at the time I got sick. It was only until after, when the symptoms and stuff came out, I was like, holy.
But that's after 4 days though. I mean.
So what?
All right.
Like, once I heard the symptoms, I was convinced, like, oh, I think that's what it was that I must have caught in Trinidad.
So then you get coronavirus twice?
That's what I'm getting to. If you would let me get there.
My bad.
You know?
I'm sorry, guys.
So, at the end of June, it was my birthday. So, that was around the time that I basically got a notice from work that they want us to start coming back into work, right? And I was pissed. Like, I was so mad. And it wasn't even mad because I'm thinking, oh, now I'm definitely going to be exposed to this virus mad. It was just like, I really don't want to go back. Like, I'm enjoying this. Like, you know, I'm just enjoying this time of just being home and relaxing. And now I have to go back. So anyway, long story short, we're in the first week of July and I go back to work. I'm at work, literally, you guys, 5 days. Like, 5 days only I am at work. On that 5th day, one thing about me and my body, we are so intertwined. I know when something is going on. It's like, if I'm about to get a cold or a flu or whatever, like, my body talks to me. And, like, I can tell when something is starting to brew before it gets really, really bad. So on the 5th day that I was at work, I was just feeling so nauseous. I just wasn't feeling right. I wasn't feeling like myself. Right. I can't even explain to you what I was feeling. I just knew I just wasn't feeling right. So I basically... So
you could have gotten it before that? Like probably whenever when you went back out to work.
Within those 5 days, like somewhere in there,
you got it.
I caught it when I went to work. So on that 5th day, I basically said, I'm leaving early because I don't feel right and like I need to go home. Yeah. So when I was driving home from work, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should stop at one of these testing sites and go get tested. Like off the back, that was my thought process, just because I just wasn't feeling right. So at the time when I left work to go to the testing site, there was thunder and stuff because we're in hurricane season in Florida.
It's raining.
So
sun rain. But you called me though, right?
I called you, and I was like, I'm waiting to go get tested. And when I drove up, because they have like these drive up testing sites there, and the guy was basically like, we're shutting down testing today because there's thunder and lightning in the area and we don't work under these conditions. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I go home. I went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, my fever was like 104 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just feeling weak. So immediately I took 2 500 milligram Tylenol just to bring the fever down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I need to go get tested. Like,
to see if
I need to get tested. I gotta see, like, this is not right. I have to go get tested. So I couldn't, at that time, I was feeling very weak. I had the fever and all that stuff. I couldn't muster up myself to go. And he wasn't home at the time. So I think I took like, say about like 4 to 5 hours later, I was able to go. So I go down there and I get in line because, you know, it's in the car or whatever. And then once you drive, it was like a sports field. So once you drive in, the armed guards kind of tell you like where to park, and you come out your car and you walk to these trailers.
Right. And it's like social distancing, so you got to stay apart.
So when you walk to these trailer, you basically have to have, they tell you before you get out your car that you need your ID and your cell phone. So you walk up to the trailer and you show them your ID card, and they're basically taking all your information from the ID card and writing it down.
Basically, simple information: your name,
your address,
and your phone
just
number.
Just all the information that's on your
driver's license.
And they ask you for your phone number.
Yeah.
So all of that is on this form, and then they tell you to take a picture of it. So I take a picture of it, and then they tell you to walk around the trailer, and that's where they're doing the testing. So as you walk around the trailer, they have like these tables set up, and you know, everybody in full gear.
Yeah, PPE
gear from
full
head to toe.
Gear.
And you sit down, and they confirm your name, because then they have to now take that paper that was just filled out. Mm-hmm. It's handed off to the person that's going to be swabbing you. So they confirm your name, and then they pull out this long Q-tip, basically, and they stick it all the way up
to the back of your nose.
Your nose.
But they told you to like pull your head all the way back, because they want to reach all the way up inside there.
Right.
And they hold it for like 20 seconds, right?
No, it wasn't that long.
Or 20 seconds for me.
I kind of prepared myself for this because I was like Googling and YouTubing, you know, like the coronavirus test, like what people are going through when they get tested. So I knew that it was going to be like an uncomfortable process, because I was seeing like videos of, you know, this thing being stuck all the way up, and people are just like, like, you know, going crazy or whatever. So I mentally already prepared myself for it. And when I tilted my head back and she put it up, I mean, it hurt. It was uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
But the reason why it hurt more for me is because I had this damn virus. Like, I was sick. Like, I was sick. Like, I was
bad.
I was terrible. Like, I was sick. So for her to stick that thing up in my nostrils, and I'm already having like sinus issues and everything, it was just uncomfortable, right? It wasn't painful, but it was very uncomfortable.
It's an uncomfortable feeling, just regular. Because when you stick it all the way up back there, my eyes started water. I was like, you know, couldn't breathe, trying to breathe. So it's an uncomfortable feeling regular. So imagine if you have a cloggy nose and your throat tied up, and, you know, you're already sick. How much more uncomfortable that could feel. So
right. So after you do that part, they close it up, and they put everything in a Ziploc bag. So all your information and the test, they put in a Ziploc bag. And I saw them putting it in like a refrigerator or something like that. And then they direct you to go back to your car and to drive out of this field. Okay, so I took the test. It was my sister's birthday, and we had already made reservations at like what was the restaurant? Ruth Chris. We already made reservations at Ruth Chris. So this was, I think, 2 or 3 days after I took the test.
Or 2 days.
Yeah, it was like 2. This is like my first stages of getting sick, right? So
she's unsure whether she has it or not.
I'm unsure this time whether I have it or not, but I feel in my heart of hearts that I have it, but I just didn't get a positive test result yet.
Yeah. So we're making the right steps, preparations to.
So at this point, when I feel like I may already have it, we had already like sent Christian off to go stay with my mom, just in case. Like I was just taking all the proper precautions even early on because I didn't want anybody else to get it. So we went to dinner, and this is the turning point when I knew I had this virus. And the reason why I say that is because when we went to Ruth Chris and I was eating things that I love to eat, I couldn't taste anything. Nothing. I couldn't taste anything. Like I couldn't taste the appetizer. I couldn't taste the drink. I couldn't taste anything.
So then I was like, yo,
that was like so miserable for me. Like I've never had an experience of where I'm like eating things and I can't taste it. Like it never happened.
I don't even know.
And also like before we went out to dinner, I had like sprayed this Versace perfume that like he had bought me for my birthday. And when I sprayed it on myself, I couldn't smell it. So like already I can't smell and I can't taste anything. I was like convinced I got this thing. Like I'm just basically waiting. So
the next day,
the next morning, I got a text from
the people
Department of Health. And in the text, it provides you like a link. And when you click the link, it takes you to a website. And then once you get into the website, you have to put in your information. You have to put in your date of birth.
Right.
And it was something else. You put in your date of birth.
It's in your name and your date of birth. And then it brings you to a link where you have your results. You see your results.
So once you put in that information, then your name and stuff will come up and you click it to get your results. And I clicked it and I looked and it said there were like 3 things there, and it said positive, positive, positive. When you say to someone, when you assume like, I think I had it back in so and so or whatever, but to actually see it in front of you, like it's saying positive, 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 it's completely different. So as soon as I saw the results, the first person I told was
her dad.
No, it was you.
It was me?
I
think it was your dad.
Maybe it was my dad.
She tells her dad everything.
All right, so maybe it was my dad. I told my dad first, and he was just like, how did this happen? Like, what? Like, so anyway.
Then she told me.
Then I told you. Then I told my sister. So I was just telling like people who are in close proximity of me, because I felt like those are the people that might want to go get tested, right?
And she told all of us who was around
I told all of them
to go get tested.
Everyone who I went to dinner with the night before, I was like, all of y'all need to get tested because I just got my results and it says that I'm positive. So at this point,
her ass went into quarantine.
I went directly into quarantine. I was quarantined before though.
She was kind of quarantined before, so because we were like,
because like Christian wasn't here anymore, and I was kind of like anticipating this result, so I had quarantined myself just off in my son's room.
We were wearing masks and stuff like that, hand sanitizer and stuff. So what I want to say though, so she was in our next room, so she's not in our room.
Yeah, I just said that. I said I was in Christian's room, quarantined the whole time.
And then Christian was by her mom. So the process, just knowing the fact that she has it, to me was scary one, and not knowing if I have it too, so then I have to go get tested, and then just the process of getting her back well, and then interacting with someone who has it, and you as her husband have to be around to make sure she's good. She's she's eating, she's drinking, she's staying hydrated, and that she's okay. So you gotta be there and be that support system. you know, every step of the way.
Yeah. So again, so like
so I got tested.
I stayed in that room for 2 weeks.
Right.
Straight. Like I stayed home. I didn't go anywhere for 2 weeks. Stayed in that room. And the beginning stages of when you have COVID-19, or at least for me,
probably was the worst stages.
It was terrible because again, you can't taste anything, you can't smell anything.
You're weak.
My throat was feeling like sandpaper.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, like, you know, I was only like drinking fluids.
So a lot of coconut water is
and I got a lot of headaches.
Yeah.
The first like 4 or 5 days I would get like these headaches, and I had to keep taking Tylenol like just to maintain, because I would get like these very bad headaches.
So she was taking, and then she was sleeping a lot because to, you know, subdue the headaches as well. Yeah.
So then my mom, who is Guyanese, she basically sent over a whole care package of things that I needed to do every day. So there was a leaf that she boiled. Dang, I wish I would have had that.
I'll be right back. I'll get that list for you guys. Listen to
I'll put it in the description. No, I'll put it in the description below.
Oh, okay.
There was a leaf that she boiled. She basically put it in like a thermostat and sent it with like a measuring cup, and I had to drink a quarter cup of this thing every 6 hours.
So, but some of the ingredients were is garlic.
No, I'm talking about the tea.
Oh, the tea. Okay,
oh my God. Just let me talk. I'm talking about the tea. So this tea I had to drink every 6 hours.
It was like a bush tea, more or less.
Right? And then, in addition to that, that's when the lemon, garlic,
remedy,
and all that other stuff,
turmeric stuff
that you mix up and
cayenne pepper,
drink.
Ginger. Yeah.
Oh, yes. So I would do that also as well, 2 times a day. And then I would also do the steaming of the pot. So I would just put
it's like a
mint oil.
Yeah, mint oil.
Those in like hot water to open up my breathing passage.
Yeah.
And you steam over the pot for 10-15 minutes or whatever. So I would basically continuously do
that process,
this process every day for the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would say by the 10th day of being in quarantine, I started to feel much better. Like my symptoms like subsided. I slowly started to like taste things again, and all was well. So when at the time, you know, I would have friends kind of like contacting me like, hey, what are you doing, so and so? Or we had like people from New York who were like visiting, like, oh, hey, I'm in town, like, let's so and so. And I would just, I didn't like not want to say what it was, so I would just say, oh, I'm sorry, like I tested positive for COVID, I'm quarantined. And like when I would say that, like people was like, wait, what? I think you see it on social media, you see people that have it, but it just doesn't hit close to home, where you know somebody directly that has it. You're like, oh my God, like what? You have it? So I think it was definitely like a shocking factor for some people.
And then it's
people in my family immediately just was like, you know, I'm gonna pray for you, like, because it's scary, because like,
and then people don't really want to be around you too, you know, they can't really be around you, so they're like, you get that kind of, what, you got it? No,
well, they can't be around me if I'm quarantining, but I'm just
I'm saying with me and your sister, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like,
we
I
have to like
it's fine,
stay away a bit, but
yeah. So that's really the gist of it. That's just what I went through. You have to go back. Oh yes, after the 2 weeks of quarantine, I went back to get retested.
Yeah.
And when I got retested, it still said that I was positive from that first test of me getting retested.
No, I got tested and I was negative. Her sister got tested and she was negative as well.
Yeah,
everyone who was around
around me went to get tested, and they were all negative.
Yeah.
I think though, I'm not 120% positive, but I'm very sure that I contacted this virus at work.
100% sure she did. She contacted.
It was the only time that I was like around people.
It was the only time it's actually out. Like,
yeah.
Because before that, she wasn't really going out like that.
Yeah.
So the only time she actually went out and was interacting with other people was
when I went to work.
Was when she went to work. So I was like, I'm 100% sure you got it there.
So since getting it, I still have not gone back to work, and I don't plan to go back. You know, I just feel like my health comes first. And that was like just a scary situation for me, like to be in, and I just don't want to compromise myself again,
or son,
or my son, until this whole thing kind of like blows over. I don't know when that's gonna be.
And then you hear these stories. No, you hear these stories with people dying, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, and I mean, like, for the rest of the year, I feel like the rest of this year, 2020, is just like a dub. Like, I think 2021, we move on from there, and maybe hopefully by that time things will get better, but I just don't see things turning around moving forward towards the end of this year. I just don't see. Now
everyone who's out there who either feels like they have the virus or feels like they have symptoms, there's testing sites all over. Be proactive, go get tested. You know, if you're around older people, younger people, you don't want to, you know, transmit that to those. So we were being very careful.
Because a lot of you asymptomatic people are the ones that's spreading it. You know, the ones who feel like they don't have it because they have no symptoms.
And there's a lot of people who have it.
There's a lot of people who have it.
And they don't have any symptoms.
And they don't have the symptoms.
Yeah.
And they're carrying it. So
be proactive.
Just be proactive. Go get tested. Just to make sure you don't have it, and then keep up with the washing the hands and the wearing the mask and the blah blah blah.
Now if you do have it, stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, stay away from anyone. If you're going out or if you gotta do anything, if you're by yourself and don't have support, wear a mask. Be mindful of people around you. There's certain different remedies that you could take. She's gonna put it in the description below. The remedies that to follow, so definitely follow that. Be safe, be healthy. We want everybody around us to be healthy, and just be aware that, you know, you can get it. It's a high possibility you can get it, and do the right steps if you get it, and do the right steps if you don't have it. You want to say anything else?
Nope. All right, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for listening.
And stay tuned to the next video.
Bye.
Bye.